Live from Los Angeles. Welcome to Good Morning LaLa. I'm Dr. Erin.
Hi, I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessica Moyer. This is Good Morning LaLa, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you Monday through Friday at 9 a.m.
Right, and today's all about Transformation Tuesday, favorite day. We always like to transform what we're doing around here. So we're going to transform the body, mind, and spirit. We're going to talk to one woman about transforming her body at any size. We're going to talk to another woman about being a doctor and transforming women's health, and then another man's journey of online platform of believing and changing the world.
Changing everything today.
Right? It's all changed. It changed.
Hashtag Transformation Tuesday. I'm so excited for the guests we have in-house. Good morning. Back in the studio, we have Kat Napolitano. She's the creator of Catnap Fitness. Dr. Iris, saving the lives of so many women with the advanced, minimally invasive laparoscopic surgery she does. One of the few women in the country, one of the few doctors in the country, rather, that actually perform this. It's such an honor to have you both in the house. And of course, Ken Speakman, you are changing the game of entertainment. So we're so excited to get to know more about each of you. And I'm wondering, how do you even start your day with all that you do to transform the world? How do you start to transform your day? Kat, let's start with you.
Okay,
What's your morning routine?
I love to start early. I'm a morning person, you know, one of those peppy morning people. I get up at about 5:30 in the morning. I do take that minute for myself. I meditate a little bit or do my gratitude journal, and then it's off to the races, coffee immediately, and then getting my teenage daughter out of bed, 14-year-olds, you know, and then get her to school and then get my workout. I'm super early in the morning so I can check that off and then get to work.
Man, Kat hits the ground running.
Right?
I love it.
Clearly had her coffee today. Dr. Iris, what is a morning like for you?
So this morning was a typical morning. First thing I do is I turn my coffee maker on as I set up my yoga mat, and I do my 30 minutes of mindfulness and yoga with my favorite yoga instructor. And it's just such an empowering, relaxing, no matter what comes at me that day, I know I can accomplish and I can persevere with calmness and gratitude and appreciate my day.
Love that.
I think I need to take a healthy dose of that. Feel free to prescribe that to me. If it's doctor's orders, I will do it. Ken, what's your morning routine?
Usually I get up and I'll do a quick run, and then it's a bulletproof coffee most days. Yeah.
So what is bulletproof coffee?
Bulletproof coffee is it's a coffee Dave Asprey created, and it's a combination of clarified butter, which is ghee, and some MTC oil, which is supposed to be able to help your brain function a little bit better.
Oh, I might need that.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think I've ever put butter in my coffee. Butter on the toast, but not actually in the coffee.
I love butter and everything, so I'm willing to try it.
The French girl in me is thrilled right now. More butter? Sign me up. Well, thank you all for being here. We're so excited to get to know more about each of your journeys later in the show.
Don't you find it amazing that how many of our guests have like very similar ways that they all meditate pretty much. They all do yoga. A lot of them do the bulletproof coffee. Like this is a common theme we're finding along the way. So
Yeah, it's incredible, and I'm so happy to hear it. It's so encouraging, I think.
It really is, and they're all gratitude journaling. I have not taken note today. I hit snooze like 3 times. Like I said, Dr. Iris is going to have to prescribe this to me, I think, before I really start transforming my life.
well, she must
Or my
get,
morning, rather.
right?
Just my morning.
And her, like, she's done so many talks and so many videos, and obviously, you know, her, traditional work is so profound. But man, she's a busy, busy woman. I was looking at her work. Holy cow!
And you have to really love a doctor who's focused so much on presence and mindfulness. I just feel like so good about
Right?
that. So yeah, it's so exciting to me because I don't know how you can do that job without being full of equanimity. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's going to be so stressful. Yeah.
We're definitely bringing the East and the West together in medicine, which is super exciting.
And Kat's bringing the fun to your workout. She's got a new DVD, Work It, Real Fitness for Real People. Hey. But I want to tell you guys about what I was doing over the weekend.
Oh yeah? What?
Yes. So I went to, there we go. I went to this incredible new restaurant. It's been open for about 7 months. It's in the Valley, actually. Ventura Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
It's innovative, it's creative, it has so much heart. It's Davenport's, owned by the Davenport's family, and it's just really good food, really good people, and it's such a like sexy atmosphere, and it's just cool. It's just cool. I got to take a look at it. I sat down, I had an interview with the family. We went behind the scenes in the kitchen with the chef. Let's take a look. A new timeless classic has opened here on Ventura Boulevard. I'm Jessamine Moyer with Good Morning La La Land at my new home away from home, Davenport. And I have the honor of being here with the three of you today. And I'm wondering, what has been the most rewarding part of opening Davenport's for each of you?
For me, the overwhelming positive response.
For me, it's been seeing my brother and my father's dream come true.
Being able to see the guests and enjoy themselves and have a good time and a good meal.
We paid attention to vegetarians and vegans' concern, and that's why we brought in the Impossible Burger.
Absolutely, and what I love about the Impossible Burger is that it is a conscious choice.
As we've been testing it over the last 2 weeks, everybody's been through the roof. Some people think they're being punked. This is fun. What we're doing now is fun, but this is a blast.
I have to say, in all of LA, this feels like home, and that's so hard to find here. I'm so grateful, so thank you.
Nice.
Davenport's is a welcome addition to the Valley, right on Ventura Boulevard, just off the 405.
But we want to hear like the kind of gossip behind the scenes, like were there some hot people there? Was there like a business savvy? Was it more of a hookup? Like what kind of place is
Erin's asking if you could give her additional incentive to leave the WeHo to get there, to go to the Valley.
No, absolutely. And that's one of the things about Davenport's that I love is that it does feel like it is part of what we're used to in West Hollywood or here on the West Side. It's got these big comfy bar stools, a very cool sexy crowd, a lot of couples, a lot of singles after work. The bar was packed already at 4 p.m. They stay open through lunch all the way till dinner. They're going to have a brunch that starts in 2 weeks. So it's really exciting. Whether you're on a date or out with girlfriends, it's the perfect place to go. They have these big black cozy booths, super cool art on the wall, jazzy music. Like I said, it's a great ambiance.
Yeah.
Jessamine Moyer, always on top of it.
We are spoiled.
Yeah.
So many
we are
restaurants
spoiled.
for sure. So what else is going on? What are you guys doing today? It's warm. It's going to be hot.
For the guests, It's amazing how the weather can totally change the mood, though.
Completely.
Right? Like you can feel it in LA. Like almost, it's palpable. You feel it immediately.
Right?
Yeah.
It rains in the city, and everyone's like, what do we do? No one knows how to drive. Everyone's like, I'm depressed. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, it finally feels like LA again, and we're so excited about that. We'll be back with more Good Morning La La Land in just a few minutes. Stay tuned. It was a hot week in La La Land. I'm Jessamine Moyer, co-host of Good Morning La La Land with our associate producer, Ms. Victoria Simone, and we're here to tell you all about it. On Monday, we welcomed Robbie Hayes to the studio. You've seen him on The Bachelorette, and he has a new company, Leisureletics.
What?
Hot. Tuesday, we welcomed Sean Kushner, aka Kush. Wednesday, we celebrated with Annalyn McCord and Together One Heart, freeing women from slavery. We had Focus TV family in Sassoon in-house.
Namaste all day. Thanks for tuning in to This Week in La La Land. I'm Victoria Simone. Jez. Bye.
It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to This Week in Focus. My name is Victoria Simone, producer here at Focus TV Network, America's first live streaming daily talk show network. And today I have my girl helping me out,
Jessamine Moyer, co-host of Good Morning La La Land.
So last week on the Focus TV Network, we shot Reshape with Ali Landry.
And special guest, Ross Matthews.
We had the Alyssa Goodman Show.
With the original Iron Chef herself, Kat Cora.
What? I'm so excited to announce our newest show, The Lisa Torres Show, Jeslyn, who was on Good Morning La La Land.
We had a great week full of guests, including Robbie Hayes from The Bachelorette.
Hot!
Annalyn McCord celebrating Together One Heart, and In Sassoon, beauty and wellness advocate.
Can I say triple hot? Thank you guys for tuning in to This Week in Focus. Jez, thanks for helping me out. Bye.
Hang on.
You want to do it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I know everything. That's all we could say with all the freaking lists that you gave me. Soul Reboot with Allison Charles. And I was supposed to say Ross Matthews. Fuck, I forgot. Jeslyn's so mad at me now.
no, I don't care.
Rush didn't cap.
Trust, then verify.
Yes. You keep doing that. The Lisa Torres Show with, do I say Lisa Torres? Okay.
Awkward, okay.
It's a helping. You okay with this music in the background?
No.
All right, how long are we doing this dance for? That is definitely not going in the blooper roll. Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa Land. It's hashtag Transformation Tuesday, and we have some very special guests in the house celebrating just that with us. Creator of Catnap Fitness, Miss Kat Napolitano, Dr. Iris Orbach, and Ken Beekman in the house. Good morning.
Good morning.
So in honor of Transformation Tuesday, I'm wondering if you're kind of in a bad mood or a case of the Monday blues on a Tuesday, what do you do to transform your mindset? Kat, let's start with you.
You know, really mindset is exactly what you said. There's so many times where I just go back to, it's a decision, right? And I just constantly remind myself of that. If I'm stepping into a bad situation, it's all about your attitude. And of course, for me, it's all about the mind-body connection, right? Get your workouts in, it helps the endorphins, and it just really sets your mind. Iris, you said it so well. It's about finding that mind-body connection, centering yourself, and then choosing an attitude of gratitude. You know, I love that saying that's out right now. And just choosing to be happy. So just resetting yourself and saying, I'm going to make the right choice right now.
Oh, you are such a light cat. Thank you. Dr. Iris, what do you do?
So I think setting, for years in yoga, my yoga teachers would always say, set an intention for the class. And I'd be rushing in from work or rushing in from taking my kids somewhere, rushing in from coffee with my friends. And I had a hard time finding and setting an intention until one day I realized that connecting my breath with my movement, with my actions, and deciding, making a conscious effort that I was going to start my day with the right intention. And I would set my intention to really, no matter what came at me, to breathe. I know that sounds so silly, but it is so powerful. And it's amazing, just from a medical perspective, taking long, deep breaths really calm our sympathetic nervous system. That's the nervous system. If like a bear is chasing after us, our heart rate goes up and we're running. Taking long, deep breaths really calm ourselves, calm our heart rate, and allow us to face whatever's coming at us. So I think you have to have the desire, the will. I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna have the right intention, and then really acting on what you're planning on trying to strive for.
Mm. So eloquently
Beautiful,
said.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This was started to be saying, preach. Preach.
Ken, what about you?
For me, I'll try to write down like 4 or 5 things I'm grateful for, and then kind of the opposite. I'll go and just run until and kind of take the blinders on and try to just focus on whatever's bothering me. Think through it, and then usually by the end of it, I'm exhausted and have some sort of a solution, or I'm not feeling upset about whatever the issue was anymore.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here, for being so authentic, for sharing your stories. We're excited to get to know more about each of you later in the show.
Right,
Awesome.
right. So today's all about Transformation Tuesday, and we're definitely having that conversation already. We talk about body, mind, spirit, and I thought it was fascinating because I thought, well, what? You know, transformation, we're always focusing kind of on the body on Tuesday. Like people, when you look up transformation, it's usually like the before and after pictures of people on the internet, right? And I was thinking, you know, what do we really want to talk about today? And it reminded me of this client I had. She's actually a big coach, and she is a happiness coach of all things. And she was finding that she's still, with all the work and going, I'm just going to do it, the mindset, all of us talk about, and all of our guests were talking about. She'd get up, she'd work out, she'd do everything, and logically, you know, she'd breathe and, you know, let go of it and surrender and all that stuff. But she felt like she still had this thing that she couldn't let go of whatever. So she actually came in and we did some subconscious work actually on her rape. She had been raped years prior. And during the, you know, subconscious, you know, session, she had this huge epiphany, and she realized, she's like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that since that traumatic incident, and we all have trauma at some level, she literally was like, I've gained 20 pounds, I've had health issues, I've actually had issues with my eye and all this stuff, and she started realizing how it was almost like, because she had been suppressing all the emotions that had happened through that trauma. And the point is this, is that through that, she had this huge awakening and, you know, began to really release being happier. She also took off some weight and just like released this huge burden. And I think that oftentimes we think of transforming out there in the world, you know, getting fit, going to the gym, putting on new clothes and all that. But we basically preach here that it all starts within. So just knowing that subconscious work is, in my opinion, the most important thing. If you're going to work out for the physical, for the mental, for everything, all has to start in mind.
Such an interesting and both a sad and an encouraging story. Where do you start, Erin? If you want to do, or if you need to do some of the subconscious work, where do you start?
Sure. You know, whether you are a traditional therapist or whether you are a spiritual counselor, wherever you're seeking to do your work, whether it be meditation or whatever, it's always releasing what's at the subconscious or soul level. So, you know, we would do that through releasing emotions. You know, sometimes you go to yoga and people are crying, or going to sound baths and we're crying because we're releasing the emotions and we're neutralizing. We all have PTSD at some level, like at some core level, we have trauma, we have things that have happened. So you can seek out, you know, different daily spiritual practices, or you can go seek out sessions with counselors, whatever. They all do the same work. It's whether you believe it's just in this lifetime or all lifetimes or whatever. It's all the same work of dealing with trauma to begin with.
What do you say to the person, though, Erin, who doesn't want to do the work? Because most people don't want to do that. I mean, that's very intimidating to have to be open and vulnerable to experience that emotionally.
Yeah, great question. I think life will do it anyway. You know, it's like it's going to make you have a breakdown so you're going to break through. So whether you go deal with it or whether you have divine signs that show up as disease or depression or whatever that is, life is going to demand for you to do the work regardless. So,
One of my favorite quotes is Carl Jung, and he says something like, when we don't do the work, essentially, you know, we experience these problems, and he said his entire work as a psychologist is to make the unconscious conscious. He said when you don't make the unconscious conscious, you basically experience life and you call it destiny, you know, and life ends up being lots of problems one after the next after the next. So, you know, it's really interesting. I do think that the work can be enjoyable, though. I know at times it can be painful, but I'm a firm believer that doing the work can actually be a very enjoyable and sort of even happy experience.
Totally.
Right?
It's like when you finally have an epiphany or you finally have like a burden of something that's gone on in your past, you're like, whoa, this is like so freeing. How would you not want to do the work?
I beg to differ. I do not think the work is ever enjoyable when you're doing emotional work. The after effect is enjoyable. When you reflect on it, you can think, oh yeah, that was so worth it. But when you're in the shower, like crying for hours, it's not exactly a happy experience.
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess it just sort of depends. So for me, doing the work means focusing on the opportunity that's available for me to feel better. And to the extent that I'm doing that, I'm solution oriented, and that always makes me feel better. When I'm problem oriented and I'm becoming a deeper and deeper expert in those problems, that feels bad to me.
So how do you move that needle from problem to solution?
For me, it's just a question of focus and direction. So I think we all come from sort of different schools of thought. For me, I'm a firm believer that growing doesn't have to be painful. I mean, I grew up, I'm 22 years old, okay? And 22 years old, at some point I was a 2-year-old, okay? And my body's growing and my bones and my muscles and all those things. It hasn't hurt. It didn't hurt. Growing up didn't hurt, you know, physically, and yet I grew. And in fact, I grew better when I was feeling good and I was happy. So I'm a firm believer that happiness is very conducive to growing and to getting better at whatever it is you want to do. Yeah.
I think also that shift comes with waking up. Like the more you realize how much you are creating everything and how much the effect of, say, a trauma or not doing the work, then you're like, whoa, I want to, you know, then it propels you into desiring to enjoy doing the work as hard as it is.
It's such a good point, Erin. I completely agree. The pain of not doing the work is so much greater than the pain of doing the work. Totally. It's immeasurably more painful.
Yeah, I guess who would rather choose the migraine?
Right.
Over meditation.
Yes.
Right? It is. We could call it divine signs. So anytime we're having like, you know, health issues or whatever's going on, those are the divine signs. That's life going, you know, wake up, wake up, wake up.
Divine discontent, huh?
Right?
That's so true. Yeah, I think it's so much more enjoyable to go to like an unconditionally loving therapist or coach or doctor of divinity and help me heal through my problems than like sitting there in the shower crying and wanting to
life slapping you across the...
Which I've definitely done.
Like Kent mentioned, he goes running. A lot of times too, getting physical or doing one of the workouts with Kat, that can really help you process the emotions.
For sure.
If you're just moving. Or go outside, go for a walk. think better than when I'm moving.
Oh, Jazz, you're so right about that. And one of the most profound points or testaments to that is I remember seeing a study and they basically said, you know, that doing exercise 30 minutes, cardio or something like that is the equivalent to taking an antidepressant. It's that powerful psychologically and emotionally.
And our executive producer, Andy, he always says, motion creates emotion.
He's behind the camera right now, he's rolling his eyes. He literally just walked out of the room. It's like, oh no, I heard my name, I'm out.
Do not call me out. Yes.
Some people like to be behind the camera, some people like to be in front of the camera.
Geez. Well, we have 3 very exciting guests here today at Good Morning LaLa, and we're so excited to get back there and get into these interviews with Kat, the creator of CatNap Fitness, Kent Speakman, the creator of Connect TV, and Dr. Iris herself. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Hello, Los Angeles. I am your host and producer, Alex Worley, filming inside Focus TV's West Hollywood studio. Welcome to Empowerista, a show dedicated to highlighting female trailblazers and empowering you to turn your barriers into breakthroughs.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Paprath.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting stories from all over the globe.
Welcome to Good Morning La La Land. I'm Dr. Erin.
I'm Rob Mack.
And I'm Jessica Moyer.
And we're making history as the first live streaming daily talk show.
This is where all kinds of shit happens.
Monday through Friday, we are going to be streaming to you live, Los Angeles, at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Alyssa Goodman Show. So Kelly, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Alyssa. This is so fun.
I know.
What's up, Rosé girls? I'm Jessica Carroll. Today we're gonna have so much fun because we have fitness personality Katie Austin.
Hey,
we're
thanks for
having
having me
Rosé
on.
with
Cheers.
Katie Austin.
I love it. It
Cheers.
feels like a Saturday.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Millennial Life. I'm your host, Laura Odegaard, and today we are joined by the very beautiful former Miss California and now a TV host, Natasha Martinez. I'm so happy that you're here.
I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
You are tuning in to Slay with Rachel McCourt, and I have a fabulous guest. In studio with me is Liza Glukoff. She's just been named executive producer of programming at Awesomeness TV. I mean, no big deal, but huge. Hi.
Thank you. Hi.
Are we so excited right now?
We are so excited.
I mean,
Thank
we
you for
have
having me.
roses, we have perfect lighting, we've got some Spa Girl vodka in case we get a little crazy.
Hey, Dr. Erin here, teaching universal law and spiritual truth, having a conscious conversation in the heart of Hollywood. And I'm honored to have the guest today, who is Christina Pascucci, who is amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's an honor to be here with you. I so appreciate it.
Today on Moms Matter, we're going to talk about money, 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 something that we all struggle with and we need help with, and that's why we have the fabulous Winnie Sun, who's here with us today.
Aw, thank you.
Thank you so much. I know you've been on MSNBC and Forbes, and you are the money expert.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a new magical episode of Soul Reboot. I am your host, Allison Charles. Please welcome and meet this powerful divine queen whose name is Daphne Wayans. I am so happy to be here with you.
I'm so honored to be here.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We're celebrating #Transformation Tuesday, and we have Kent Speakman here. He's a digital entrepreneur, producer, and the creator of Connect TV, and you are transforming media as we know it. Thank you so much for what you're doing with social awareness and your vision. It's truly incredible. Tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you. Well, I around a year and a half ago started Connect TV. Our first show was the Make-A-Wish Foundation's Power of a Wish Gala in New York, hosted by Nigel Barker, and we went live just to Facebook with a multi-camera live show. So we did the red carpet, charity auction items. We had people at home bidding on the items, and we ended up winning Campaign of the Year for that show. We did it again last year. We went from 1.3 million with them to 1.7 last year, and we're getting ramped up for this June's next show.
It's a heck of a way to start.
Wow, nice. So take us back, because like how do you start this journey? So I mean, the intention is believe and changing the world, and I mean, we're totally in alignment with the community here. But tell us a little bit what was it that got you interested in this journey?
Well, I'm from Canada, and I've always been in production, music videos, documentaries, that type of thing. And when I moved to LA, I started coming to some of these big galas, and I was surprised to see you'd have 500 or 1,000 people in the room with amazing, like Bruno Mars performing, and these wonderful hosts, and that 1,000 people was all that was able to see it and learn from the speakers and all of the impactful things that were being shared in that room. So I thought, what if we could share that with the world and have everyone else get engaged? And that's kind of the precipice of how it started.
That makes sense.
So cool. So
right? There's so many places in LA, you go to things, you're like, is this really happening right now? Like, there's some like incredible singers, some celebrities, everything, and you're like, how did this even happen? It's bizarre, all the amazing things, and people up to nonprofits and making a difference in the world. I love that.
It's Kent, it's all him. Behind it all, pulling the strings.
No, I'm just trying to support the good people that are out there doing the work, and I feel like that's how I'm doing my work, is by supporting them. So
That's fantastic. Did you always know you wanted to be in entertainment?
I did, yeah. Since I was, I think I was 12 or 13, my parents bought a camcorder, and we'd go around shooting little videos and editing it on the VHS player. And I'm making myself sound old, but
that was my start in entertainment. I did the same thing. I had my own DIY talk show in my friend Katie's basement.
Nice.
I never heard of VHS. What is that? Never heard of it. I only know MP3s. Well, good for you. I was the exact opposite of that. I hid from people. You know, it's so interesting to me to be so clear at 12 or 13. Did you have a direction at that point in time? I know you wanted to go in entertainment, but did you want to be, clearly you wanted to be in front of the camera, behind the camera?
A little bit of both, and the odd thing was it didn't really make sense. All of it kind of started to make sense about 1.5 years ago, and when I was that age, my dad was the head of environmental protection. My mom was an inner city school principal, so working with high at-risk youth. And I never really realized how much that played into what I'm doing today until the last 1.5 years, and then I was like, oh, all of a sudden, all these little things from childhood make sense.
Right. So you say on your website it says, believe and then change the world. How do you think we change the world?
Well, there's a lot of ways. I think it's for the individual having the belief in themselves that they can go out and take the steps to, if it's lose weight or be healthy or impact whatever the cause is. That's the first step. And then make the connections and the people around you, bring them on board or figure out what you need to do to connect to make that happen. And then through that, you can get to the place where you can make change happen.
Nice.
What's been the most challenging part of this journey for you?
Well, I moved from Canada, and I moved here as a producer, so it's kind of like full hands-on, and I don't have the ability to, or I moved here 6 years ago, I didn't have the ability to do anything else. LA, as we all know, has a lot of side jobs and things like that, and I wasn't able to do that, so I had to be really clear and focused on this is what I'm doing and make it happen. So
that's kind of a blessing, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's a challenge and a blessing because it gives you that narrow focus that this is what you're going to do, and there's no sort of deviation from that plan.
So I'm wondering, who's inspired you in all this? Do you have a mentor, someone you're looking to? Yes,
I've had and have a few mentors. Keith Ferrazzi, who wrote Never Eat Alone and Who's Got Your Back, he was a big influencer for me on connection and understanding relationships. Another mentor of mine, Ferlin Chumlek, actually passed away this last summer. And then John Durham, who is the CEO of Catalyst in San Francisco. Those have been some of my biggest mentors. And then other friends and family along the way, but those would probably be the 3 people that I've worked with.
And what do you think would be the biggest lesson that you've learned from them?
Oh, that's so tough to summarize in one
tweet.
Sound
What could you say?
The biggest lesson, I think, is just treat other people the way that you want to be treated, and if you help others to succeed, you will as well. And it doesn't. It's not a definite equation where I help you and then something immediately comes back, but you just keep doing it and not expecting it to come back individually, and it will.
And that is crucial to your success here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
This is a relationship town. Entertainment is built on who you know and the relationships you foster.
Yeah.
It's so interesting you say that. I absolutely love that. There's a quote somewhere that essentially is like, love is the only math that works by multiplication through addition, meaning that you give out a little bit of love and it comes back, you know, 10-fold, 20-fold, but not necessarily from the direction you expected it to come back from, right?
Right.
The challenge I've always found is getting to that place where you can love just for the joy of it, right? So how did you get there? I know it's tough. I think growing up, I know I was always attached to like not getting it back. I'd do something, they didn't do anything back for me and they're not grateful. How did you get to the place where you've been able to give without an expectation of reciprocity?
And that's a great question, because it's that was a challenge at the beginning, and here or Canada, wherever you are, it's not always going to happen, and you'll get burned or feel like people have taken advantage of you, and it's that happened quite often, and I think through yoga, meditation, and just having that belief in knowing in your own self that eventually it's going to work out and be okay. I think I got to the place through those steps.
Yeah, I love that. We call it the law of correlation. Life is a grand mirror of whatever we give out has to come back. But so knowing that, we know that, of course, like yoga, that's great that you are not saying, you realize that it's got to come from within, whatever. But for people out there that are listening right now or watching, what would you tell them to do beyond the yoga, beyond knowing it's coming from within? Where would they go in LA? How do they connect?
With other people?
Yeah, like what any tips you could give people of connecting in Los Angeles?
Oh, that's a great question. I found like through me, I did meet a lot of wonderful people through yoga, and mindful spiritual people that were able to help sort of lead that path in the right direction that way. And that's probably the best advice.
Or tune in to Connect TV
Right?
and get inspired. I mean, you're missing the big one here. You have a really exciting other projects that you're working on. Tell us about them.
Well, we just finished WITMA, which is Wellbeing in the Modern Age. That was this Saturday. We were live all day from Noy House. We've got a couple more fun, exciting events coming up in the next few weeks, and then New York. I've got something we're pending in DC next month. We just did some coverage for the march that was on Saturday. And we've got some sort of unbiased news content that we're starting to look at, so we're not trying to polarize people with political views, but kind of meet down the middle.
The world is craving that.
I think it's due time for it.
And where can people find more about you and Connect TV?
So my personal handle is Kent Speakman on pretty much every platform, and then Connect is KNEKT.TV.
I love that. Well, we are total believers that names have profound meanings for your life and your mission. So obviously you're here to have a voice for so we love that.
Boom, Dr.
That's right.
That's what's up.
So really excited to watch the journey and get involved and stuff. It's a great synergy.
Yeah.
Same work, different
and it's
place
exciting
out
to
in
see
the field.
everything that's happening here at Focus as well. You guys are doing great work. And
We all believe, we all want to connect, and we all want to change the world. We'll be back with more Good Morning LaLa Land. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Focus TV studios in West Hollywood. I'm Jessamine Moyer, host of the Focus TV network show, LA Unscripted, and co-host of America's first live streaming talk show, Good Morning LaLa Land. This is the Focus Magazine preview show and an exclusive sneak peek. Today, I have the privilege to announce the March 2018 issue of Focus Magazine, and we're calling it the Influence Issue, featuring amazing personalities making a difference in our local communities. On the cover, we have singer-songwriter and host of Chasing Glory podcast, Lillian Garcia. I had the extreme honor of both interviewing her and writing a feature for the magazine on Lillian. She's truly an influencer on so many levels. Joining her on the cover is my spiritual influencer and co-host of Good Morning LaLa Land, Dr. Erin Haskell. And with her is a true professor of influence, Amanda Russell. Also featured in this issue, we have the constructional chef, Scott Harris, executive chef from the Four Seasons Hotel right here in Beverly Hills. Byron Thomas and two members of the Focus TV family and dynamic duo of lifestyle influence, Janet Gunn and Melissa Myers. Also in this issue, we feature Lauren Everts, the founder of the Skinny Confidential. Hello, gorgeous! And the candle makers Elise Fratto and Maylene Weber of Leone Candeli, which is, of course, right over there. And Cynthia Abbey Naked, who I interviewed for my show, LA Unscripted, and she is the founder of a great piece of functional jewelry from the Coley Collective. We also have a celebrity chef, Serena Poon, and her new product, Just Add Water, in a series of 4 mom influencers from our millennial mom herself, host Jenna Barnett. It's all influence, influence, influence in this issue of Focus Magazine. Get your copy today on newsstands or online, and be sure to watch our companion video features as well, because we are the only magazine in the country providing a robust video complement to our print features. I'm Jez Moyer, coming to you from the Focus TV studios in West Hollywood. Thanks for watching.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. In the spirit of hashtag Transformation Tuesday, we have the creator of Catnap Fitness, Miss Kat Napolitano, in the house.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. You are so much fun. I mean, not just in your workouts, but in real life. You walk in and you are just radiating.
I just feel so passionate about everything we're doing right now. And, you know, if you're lucky enough to find your passion and you're in it, you're just right in that space. And I also want to say you guys are amazing and inspiring. So thank you for putting this kind of content on TV. Lord knows it needs to be there and getting out there all the positivity. So
you're moving in.
I'm not getting rid of me now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have to just say that it's so refreshing to know that, you know, we see on Instagram these tiny little, you know, workout, and I'm like, I don't really want to learn from you because I'm going to be feeling so guilty the whole time I'm working out. Like, it's so nice to have a normal, beautiful, inspirational woman's body out there saying, I am a leader and I can be, you know, fully have high energy and claiming your birthright. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And I'm an expert. You know, I'm a certified fitness professional, and we see the sea change happening right now in the fashion industry. We see great normal size models. We see in singing great people like Adele. And so now we just need to see that change in the fitness industry. And we need to take the intimidation out of it, because so many people feel so intimidated they don't take that first step. And we all know, sitting here, how incredible working out makes you feel. It's that mind-body connection that we talk about, and it's transforming for your life, and everyone needs to do it. You all have to work out, everyone. It doesn't matter what your size, it's about health, health, health. Yeah.
My workout is the highlight of my day. Literally. It's the highlight of my day.
I love that.
Second to this. I was thinking of this. I'm like, I'm about to get some daggers. Did you always feel that way about working out?
You know, I discovered dance when I was 14 years old, and I was about a size 4 when I was choreographing the Miami Heat dancers, and so I was always very passionate about that, but never thought that that could be a career path. Everyone told me no all the time, you know, and by the way, I love the word no. That's my favorite word. Bring it on. No, and you look out, it's going to happen. Right. So about 3 years ago, I did a program. It was called 21 Day Fix. It was with Beachbody, and it was a very successful program. Autumn, love her. She's amazing. She's size 2, you know, shredded. But I was the modifier. So I made the exercises possible for most normal people to be able to accomplish them. And the feedback we got, people crying, sending me, they lost all this weight because they could identify with me, because they could do the exercises and not feel intimidated. And that's when we knew. This is it, that we have people out there who need help, and they need support, and they need to be inspired, and that's why I'm here.
They need a role model.
They need a role
I got chills,
model.
just got chills.
Thank you.
And I do think that also working out, when we focus on the, for me anyway, when I focus on I need to lose weight or what, like I can feel miserable, when I just focus on it, how good it makes me feel and the high energy and then it all just takes care of itself.
Health, and we really want to get that conversation back to health. You know, we were talking earlier today, someone says, oh, you look skinny, because you can see that. You can't say, oh, you look like your blood pressure's low. Oh, you look like your cholesterol's doing really well. You know, you can't really say that, or you can't see that, so it's hard to measure. And we really want people to focus on goals that are good for them. I'm not you, I'm not you, I'm not you. What are your goals, and can they please be for health-minded reasons?
Just
not
love
a size.
It. Absolutely. And there's something else you said that I think is just as powerful. And you said it's about fun.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, talk for me. That's what it
You can
is.
take a cat nap.
I absolutely love that about it because, you know, sometimes people say, oh, Rob, you're so disciplined. You get up so early and you work out. It never feels like discipline to me because I love it and I make it fun.
Right.
You know, and it hasn't always been that way. But for you, you know, what would you say to people that don't find it fun, that find it, you know, laborious and it's painful?
And so, well, first of all, I will say I love to have fun. It's my personality. So obviously my workouts on the DVD are just, when you hear me talk, it's ridiculous. I'm just talking about all kinds of fun things. Takes their mind right off it. And, you know, they're for all different levels. I think the other thing, too, is people are trying to do things that are not realistic for themselves, right? They're talking about these extreme workouts. And we all know from all the tests and studies show you do not need to do these extreme workouts to get the health benefits. And actually, a lot of times it works in the reverse. You need 30 minutes. The workouts are only 30 minutes, and they're all different kinds. I have the, you know, the attention span of a gnat, so I need to change it up all the time. So there's kickboxing, there's dance, try different things, you know, see what works for you. And also the workouts, which we really love, there's 3 different levels. So there's always a modifier you can follow. So level 1, 2, or 3, you know, an extreme athlete, they can do the full-on burpees. And then the people who are at level 1, working back from an injury, just starting to work out, they're not intimidated, but they have a workout that they can do and feel good about.
What types of workouts are on this DVD?
So this one has circuit training and dance, of course, because it's my favorite. And then I think the other one is kickboxing. But yeah, the minute to win it, whew, girl, you'd be tired after that.
I don't know if I should do that in the
morning. Yes, you should. So level 1 in the morning,
Okay,
level 3 in the afternoon.
So what do you say to someone out there that they haven't worked out in a very long time, they're feeling kind of down on themselves, and like they're like even 30 minutes, like it's not going to happen for some people?
Okay, so first of all, the number one thing is I want you to love yourself, who you are right now. Start there. You're good enough. Every single one of us is good enough right now. And start there and love yourself enough to just move your body. And I promise you, you'll be grateful. 10 minutes, do a walk, go up and down the stairs in your house, walk the dog, do anything that makes you feel good, do for 10 minutes, and then say, oh, okay, that's good, I did that. And then say, good job, good for me, I did that. And then take your steps the next day.
Love it.
Start with self-love and
So
self-care.
important.
Love yourself enough to take care of yourself.
Right.
Speaking of love, where can I find these Miami Heat dancers? I'm
from Miami. Oh, yes. I used to choreograph them. They were so great. It was such a fun time in my life. I mean, and constantly being surrounded by, you know, size 2 hot girls. But, you know, and that's the other thing, too. We love size 2. We love size 4. We love the one thing we're not promoting anything that's unhealthy. So obesity, no. You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to have the conversation with your doctor. You've got to know where your blood pressure is. But every single person, no matter what size, what age, you've got to work out. You have to be physically healthy for your heart, for your brain, mind-body connection. It fights osteoporosis. I mean, everything. So
just love that. And you include a lot of the dance stuff in the actual program, right?
I love dancing.
Yeah.
And, you know, for a lot of people, when they started, when they were younger, we all took dance classes, you know? So they automatically connect back in. A lot of women are like, oh my gosh, it feels like I'm young again doing all my dance classes. And we break it down again. I teach in a very way that everyone can follow. So it's non-intimidating, and before they know it, they're doing full choreography, and they feel like they're the Miami Heat dancers.
So is it like a subscription? Is it one time? Obviously, they can buy just the
Yes,
this
we have the
DVD or-
DVDs that they can purchase, and we're just about to start live streaming classes, which
Right.
people are very excited about. So we have a big program coming out very soon, so be on the lookout for that
Where
for
can
sure.
people follow you to look out for this big program?
Catnapfitness.com is the best, and that's K-A-T, Nap Fitness. So, and then that's the same handle for Instagram and Facebook. So, Catnap Fitness.
Love it. So excited and so important for so many people out there. So
thank you so much.
You look so gorgeous, and thank you all for all of your work.
Well, thank you, and thanks for having me here today.
Thank you for coming.
It's a blast.
So stay tuned, you guys. We're going to be right back. So excited to hear about this doctor's inspirational story of affecting so many women in their health. Stay tuned.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning LaLa Land. In honor of Endometriosis Awareness Month, we have Dr. Iris Orbach in the house. Hello and good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here and for all the work that you've done. Tell us a little bit about what your practice is.
Sure. So I feel very fortunate to do what I do and to have, life's journeys direct us in different places and to sort of have realized that I'm so passionate about helping women who haven't really been helped before. And women with endometriosis have a whole host of symptoms, and it's such a common disease process that affects 10% of women. It's like 7 million women in the US who suffer from painful periods, painful sex, a lot of intestinal symptoms, constipation, diarrhea, bloating, chronic fatigue, infertility. And I have been based in New York for a long time. I'm now bi-coastal. I have practices in Manhattan and in Los Angeles. And my specialty is to excise endometriosis. That's a particular surgery to help these women really regain their lives. But something about me is that in medical school, you don't learn about organic foods and mindfulness and meditation and just different aspects of your life. And that's something that I've incorporated in my practice to really add an Eastern approach to the Western medicine that I was trained.
That's
and
fantastic.
It's just, the patients do so much better when you incorporate a whole lifestyle change. It's empowering to them. And they feel, with endometriosis, most women suffer for about 11 years from the time they have symptoms until the time they're diagnosed. So you can imagine how much suffering goes on in 10, 11 years of their lives. Not to mention, they're probably pretty depressed and anxious, as well as so much suffering. So to be able to really empower them, to say, you can do it, you can fight this, you can regain your life, and then to have a better quality of life. I mean, it's such an impactful, powerful, it just makes me feel so good to be able to help so many others.
It's so wild to me, and I always talk about having spider senses, but when you talk to certain people and you feel how deeply purpose-driven and passionate they are about what they do, it's palpable. Like I can feel as you're talking how true all of that is for you and how deep it goes. And when did you first discover that this was sort of a passion and purpose for you?
It's actually pretty funny. When I was a little kid, I played video games all summer. I had to save Mario. I played so many video games. I remember this one summer, I sat in this outside, we had this outside room, and I played video games all summer until I could save the princess. I think it was level 8, This was like in the Atari age, Nintendo. I'm not trying to date myself, but...
Again, I don't remember that. I don't know the part. Clearly do.
And I realized I have such a proclivity for hand-eye coordination. And then my dad's a doctor, very... he's just an incredible mentor. He's so passionate about helping his patients, probably rubbed off on me. And then when I decided I wanted to go into gynecology, right at the beginning when I went into the operating theater and I saw laparoscopic or minimally invasive surgery being done, I said, this is where I belong. Wow. Because there's so much hand-eye coordination, so similar to what I was doing gaming as a kid. And the women in general were younger women, and not many people were there to help them. Wow. And it was just the right fit.
So profound to me. It's interesting because that very moment you had, okay, do you remember the game Surgery? Do you remember this game? Right? Operation. That's what it is.
Operation.
The day I discovered Operation was the day I realized, I thought I was going to be a doctor before that, and I remember I was so full of anxiety and stress as a kid. I remember I could just not even, yes, you were that friend I hated that was perfect, that she would just get each one.
I hit the buzzer all the time.
Did you?
Everybody does. I was able to get the wishbone, but many of the other ones, maybe not so much.
Not anymore.
Now I could do it.
Yeah.
So I can't help listening to this. I think it's fascinating what you do. I think it's fascinating of bringing Eastern and Western medicine, but I can't help but think this woman is like a badass. Like she knows exactly what she clearly from everything you did from the gaming to your career to looking at how many talks and how many videos and everything you're up to there. I'm thinking you were born this way. You must have been born this way. I mean, what do you think that secret is that you hold?
It's so interesting. I think the self-reflection to actually answer your question has only come recently. I'm actually writing a book on how a woman with endometriosis can reclaim her life. And I just finished chapter 1, which is sort of what's making me write the book. So by writing that intro chapter, I realized it was the video games, it was rounding at the hospital with my dad, and it was all the mentors in my life who were so impactful to me. They were like founders in the field of endometriosis excision. And I think life is pretty interesting because we do and we choose a lot of things. I tend to choose, I'm a fitness guru, I'm kickboxing, I'm doing yoga, I'm spinning, you name it. You want to go hiking, I want to go skiing, you name it. I love ocean swimming, I do triathlons. I'm just an outdoor health junkie. And all these little pieces that seemed very random actually aren't random at all. And I think so much of the world is like that. We just have to be willing to embrace what's coming at us. And, again, to talk to my dad, he's always like, never say no. There's an opportunity. Do it today, not tomorrow. And I just find that no matter what I'm doing, if I can learn something from whatever it is, chances are I'm going to unconsciously incorporate it in my life. And that's sort of just how my life has been.
You and Jesna must be sisters. She said she didn't say no to anything. Okay, she accepts all challenges.
All challenges, say yes to everything, and that's really opened up so many doors for me. And now, in writing this book and after doing your reflection, what do you think is going to be next for you in your practice?
So, well, I just moved to LA less than a year ago, so I'm bi-coastal. So I'm operating on both coasts. I have a lot of different things that I'm planning. I want to, with endometriosis, it's a disease process that, like I said, it takes so long for a woman from the time they have symptoms to be diagnosed. But then the problem is, once women are diagnosed, there's maybe a handful of doctors like myself who can actually do the proper surgery to help these women. So at some point I would love, and just the way healthcare is set up, that you have like 7 seconds to meet a patient, talk to them, and counsel them, I would love to create a protocol that would incorporate mindfulness and mind-body, as well as a really good surgery, and actually show the insurance companies that costs less than throwing medicines at them. So I have the whole business model. I just need funding from some organic company to put all these women through what I want to do, that I think can revolutionize a disease process that affects, you can't even imagine, 7 million women in the US and 176 million worldwide. Most women end up on disability. They can't have kids if they're desirous of fertility. They suffer, and most gynecologists don't even know how to diagnose endometriosis, let alone do the proper surgery to treat endometriosis. So I want to change the way that healthcare is for women with endometriosis. So I want to give them their lives back.
So where do people find you?
So people in LA, my website is lagyndr.com, like lagyndoctor.com. And in Manhattan, it's nycrobotic.com.
So important for our health and body, mind, spirit. So I'm looking forward to watching you do that startup and getting it done. I have a feeling it's already done.
I've got a real strong feeling. I feel like it's already in the opportunity is just way too big.
We're betting on the jockey. Yep. Okay.
And I thank you guys for what you do too, because that's what makes the world better, by your inspiration inspiring other people. So thank you for what you do.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. Yeah,
we love that.
Stay tuned, you guys. We're going to be right back. We're bringing everyone back to just have a fun chat on a Transformational Tuesday here on the sofa in LaLa Land. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Speak with Billy Rose, founder of the agency, as to how the agency is so different from all the other brokerage.
To me, it seemed anachronistic to encourage agents to now go be their own thing, and they're no longer sharing their resources with the rest in their group so that they can have competitive advantage. It's always a team is going to beat an individual.
We also speak with Marissa Zanuck, who started the Zanuck Group, and she discusses how it is to be an agent in the LA market today.
So many people that think that you can just make quick money in real estate, and it's really not like that. You need to put your time in. You need to do the dirty work. You need to learn all aspects of the business.
And my 3 favorite finds in the LA market today. And that's all starting now on the LA Home Show on Focus TV.
Welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. We are here with 3 fantastic guests. We've been talking about all things transformation today. And I have a special, like a personal question. I talk to lots of folks that want to be as successful and as mindful as you folks are, but in the process they're trying to discover their purpose. And I think that's one of the greatest challenges and opportunities for people today is find their purpose. It gives your life so much meaning and so much happiness. What would you suggest for people that are trying to discover their purpose? Any first steps they can take?
I mean, it sounds so obvious, but what do you love to do? You know, people, what's your hobby? What do you do when you have your downtime? And what gives you joy? And don't think for a second that it can't be a career, because it can. And it's hard to be an entrepreneur. Look, we're not going to pretend it didn't come out with years of school and bumps in careers, but you have perseverance, because work is hard sometimes, but if you're doing what you love to do, it's a lot easier to get through the tough times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to second that, and I think, you know, it's, I was in a career that I didn't love at one point, and I started doing something on the side, and then was able to just continue to put more time and energy into it, and like Gary Vaynerchuk with Crush It, I don't know if you guys are familiar with his work. You know, it's staying up late, it's getting that stuff done, it's doing what you're passionate about, and then, my Canadian probably just slipped out there. And then it slides over into becoming more and more, and then it was half of your time, and then now it's full time. So I think it's you're right, find the passion, and then just, it'll eventually, if you put the focus there, transform your life into being what you do.
Love that.
Yeah. What about you, Dr.
I think just finding time in your day to do what you're passionate about. And for me, honestly, when I was going through residency, that was not fun. But I found time to work out, kickbox, I go straight to the gym, and I found inspiration during my workouts to chart my own path, not somebody else's.
I love that.
So powerful.
So great.
Life is so short. To not do what you love, to not be who you are, is a huge travesty, right?
Yeah.
So the opportunity is so big. Thank you so much
to that,
for sharing
Rob.
that.
Cheers, right?
Every now and then. Meaning mic drop.
Good morning, La La Land, America's first live streaming daily talk show, coming to you live at 9 a.m. on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. It's going to be a good morning, La La Land.
Cheers, you guys. Like, share, and comment. Support what you love. Have a great day.
I love it. Inner conversation, self-love, that you focus on is so vital to being successful in your life. It is everything. So I have done over 25 fitness videos from when I was size 2 to what I am now, and none of your business. So yeah, you know, I started doing those, and it's just kind of a side thing. And I would be doing my work, and they would be like, "Can you do this video, and then I started modifying so that people could actually do the exercise. Because we have to do these. I mean, the 21 Day Fitness is great, but they started with surrenders.